Good evening and welcome to another evening with... Now, it's the end of the month, so it's an evening with everyone. You're all invited, even you, as long as you behave. If you've got a camera set up, or webcam, laptop, iPhone, anything like that, you're welcome to come along and join in. If the quality of the... Not your quality, you know, if the picture quality or the network quality or the sound quality is particularly bad, I may have to remove you. But you can try. Come along and join in. Just come in and say hello. I'll be putting the link up in the chat here, as well as being posted throughout social media on Facebook and in the groups and things like that. So stick around for that. At 8:05, I've set that to go live there. And if I remember, I'll push the button to make it appear here as well. Now, I did have a George joining me this evening, but then his camera started playing up and went gloopy and he dropped out. So I don't know. Hopefully he shall return. Oh, he just says, I'm trying to get back in. Hopefully you'll be able to. The link is still the same. Obviously you can join in through that, says George. So hopefully he shall return. Obviously I put up the the messages that have come in before the show started. We also have Bobbins 9000 has turned up saying hello. Hello Bobbins, welcome. Everyone's saying hello still, so that's everything, right? So this week I've got nothing planned. I have no talking points, no anything at all really. It seems to have come around very quickly again. I don't know, not being at work, being at home doing stuff, doing diorama and model making and things, and the last batch of X-Wing turned up a couple of days ago, so I've been busy doing that, filming, editing, uploading, sorting it all out. The time seems to come around very quickly. All of a sudden, it's the weekend again, almost, and I don't know where it's all gone. I dread to think what it's going to be like when I do go back to work, because then obviously there'll be less time. There'll be the same amount of time, but the less free time. So everything's going to seem very scrunched up and busy and everything, I think, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I haven't planned anything at all for this week. So if you have anything you want to talk about, then the easiest option is to come along on camera and talk about it. But you can just put it in the chat and give us, you know, talking points and things like that. It's entirely up to you. But if it is just me, then I won't be here for an hour and a half, because I haven't got an hour and a half of talking in me tonight. So yeah, give me something to talk about, ask any questions you like. I don't say that I'm going to answer any questions, but if you've got any questions, you can ask them. That's the easy thing. You can always ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. But chat's died up now. Nobody's saying anything, so I'll just sit here quietly until someone says something else, or George turns up, or someone else turns up. About another minute or so until I push the button and let the link go live to all of you. So warm up your laptops, get your cameras sorted out, get your nice, you know, green screen background with nice idyllic lakes and stuff in the background, or bookcase. It's a bookcase. That's what you have now, and you have bookcases in the background to make it all look posh and nice. Apparently, George has just blipped to say that he's in, but his camera hasn't actually got anything on it. So, oh, there it is. It has now. I shall push the button and let George join in, and we'll see if it's all working. Hello, George.
Hello. Sorry about that.
You are here. It is working. Yes.
Yeah.
It seems to be working. It all went hideously wrong for a little while there, but
yeah. And what's weird is what triggered it was like my sound card failing, which I don't know why that has anything to do with my camera, but okay.
Yeah, that doesn't sound at all normal for anything, but Mayhem's just turned up. Good Evernonks, he says. I don't know why he says that, but he does, so there you go. Gemma says, no modelling bits planned means we can get the wall and fence sorted in the garden. I don't say I haven't got anything planned, I just think things aren't happening. But I mean, for tonight, I haven't got anything planned for talking about. I'm not going and doing anything in the garden now, but, you know. Chris trying to fix the wall and fence, I can see him trying to get out of it. I don't do... if it needs doing, I'll get around to it eventually, but it's not the sort of thing that not high on my list of priorities for everything, but, you know. Shane's here. Good evening, Chris and the gang. Hope you're all well. Lovely, thank you, Shane. Very nice. How's everything for you, as everybody says? George is the right way up this week, as you'll notice, and he's doing some painting of a different dude to the one he was doing last week. Can you show people last week's?
Yeah.
You're on the full screen.
So that's the one I was doing last week.
Very nice.
That one's all done. And then the second one in this warband is this one. So this is the one. This is the first one I ever painted at a Games Workshop. Learn to paint. So it's
To me,
okay.
that looks impressive anyway. But yeah,
But yeah, so this is just to show what about a year and a half worth of progress looks like. He's not completely done. As you saw, this guy here has scratches and battle damage. So that still needs to happen on this guy. But then I just decided to move on to this one while I still had the colors on the palette.
yeah, it makes sense to do more than one at a time, because otherwise you know.
Yep.
You're going backwards and forwards amongst yourself. So
for her, I've got the leg mostly done. I'm still working on her arm over here because it's kind of weirdly shaped, and I don't know that I like the way that line goes. So, but I'm gonna start working on the gold.
Cool. I mean, the first one that you did looks fine to me, but when you show the other one next to it, you can see the subtle differences in shading and everything else that sort of brings it to a whole new level. But it's all good. Gemma's saying Chris will definitely try and get out of it. I won't get out of it. I'll just delay it as long as I possibly can. But yeah. Right, it's 7 minutes past. I shall push the button, which, if I've programmed it all correctly, should put in the chat the link to join. So you're all welcome to join. This week, as the end of the month, is an evening with everyone. So everyone is invited. Power up your computer, press your buttons, click the button, click the link. You have to sign in or whatever, as YouTube or Facebook or whatever. But then come along and join in, say hello, because otherwise it's just me watching George paint and you watching me watching George paint, and it's not exactly an hour's worth of viewing. I'm sure I'd learn stuff, but it'd just be boring watching me watch him. So, come along, say hello, do stuff. Yeah. Anything like that. Now, I do have a question for everybody in the chat, which I have posted in the Boom Hut and stuff. I'm planning on using some resin for the first time in the next few days or a week to do some water effects. Now, previously doing water effects, I've been using the Mod Podge, which works fine, does the job, looks good, but takes forever to dry. You've got to do really thin layers, and each layer takes like a day to dry. And if you do a little bit too thick, it all of a sudden takes 4 days to dry. And if you go too silly thick, then it takes, like a month and a year and a half to dry. So I thought resin was probably the way to go. People have been suggesting it, but I've not tried it yet. But I need hints and advice. If any of you have used resin before, like the 2-part epoxy stuff that is clear and dries clear, I know you've still got to do it in layers, but I think you can go slightly thicker with the layers and it dries quicker and is obviously clear already. Whereas the Mod Podge, like this one, there you go. That's been ages. I've cut it to see how it works and how it does. I did layer with a bit of blue and a little bit less blue, a little bit less blue, and then just transparent. But it's white when it's soft and squidgy. But that top layer I did very thick. But that was ages ago, and it's still not dry. It's starting to dry down the edges where I've cut it a little bit now. And it's giving me the right effect, but it's going to take, like a year for that to dry. So I think resin is the way to go. But if you've got hints and advice, people have been posting on the Boom Hut and stuff saying if you use like a blowtorch, you can dry it quicker and it gets rid of bubbles. Not going to work where I'm doing it, but yeah. Also about pouring it from quite high, apparently. You mix it up and then you pour it from quite high, and that reduces the number of bubbles that appear in it, apparently. Again, the thing that I'm doing, I'm not sure how high I can get a pour because I need it to be. You'll understand when you see the video of what I'm making. But yeah, if anyone has done resin before and knows how to do it, please let me know. You can either just put it in the chat and talk about it, or come in and show off any work that you've done. You can still put pictures in the group, the gross group, as is listed down there. Look, just down there, follow it there. I shall be going through the gallery and we'll have a look at pictures that have been put up in the last week. If you've got pictures of resin, put them in there now, and then by the time I get to it, they'll be there and I'll be able to cheat and copy your work. Let's have a look. Lord Barkley says he likes the red. I think that's George's cape thing. Not George's cape. I don't know. He might be wearing a cape. I've got no idea, but certainly the things that he's painting has. So yeah, it does go very well. I like it. Happy birthday to Shane's missus. Apparently, is it Glynis's birthday? Happy birthday. Lord Buckley has a question. Chris, have you ever thought you've lived the same day? You mean like deja vu type thing? I mean, everyone gets deja vu from time to time. It's one of those strange things that you know what's going to happen next, but only after it's happened. I couldn't sit here and think, oh yes, that's going to fall off that shelf or anything like that. But as soon as it falls off the shelf, it's like, that's happened before. But no, I don't ever recall having lived the same day. George seems to have broken again, so hopefully he'll turn up again. We'll find out. Yes, so no, I don't think I've lived the same day. In the lockdown, all the days blurred into one and seemed to equally not last very long, because all of a sudden it's, only a couple of weeks away from going back to work, and equally taken a very, very long time. Christmas feels like it was years ago. But, so it's not exactly living the same day over and over again. Things are always different. But yeah, the days do certainly blur into one throughout lockdown, but not repeating the same day, not a Groundhog Day not a Groundhog Day scenario. But I think I'd quite enjoy a Groundhog Day if it was actually the same day, because like in the film, you could learn new skills without it taking any time, and you just keep doing things for the fun of it. But I don't know, there's times when it isn't and isn't. Let's see. Mayhem's asking if Shane lives in a fun house. I'm not sure exactly why, but there we go. Mayhem asked me a question. There we go. It's question time. What's the worst part of the X-Wing part work you've encountered? Yeah, right. There's two worst parts I've encountered with the X-Wing part work. One of them is the wings. There's 4 other wings, and they're basically the same. And each one takes several weeks of building. And you do all the internal engine parts that you're never going to be able to see. And you get one done and it's great. And then you do another one and it's not quite so great because it's the same again. And then you have to do the third one. And then when you're doing the third one, you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to have to do this again for the fourth one. And then, yes, you have to do it again for the fourth one. But now we're out of that. We're doing the body part now. So everything's new and improved and different. So that was a worst part. The other worst part happened this week when I was following the instructions. You got the main electronics board, fitted that into the unit, wired it all up as it said to do, powered it up, put batteries in it, switched it on, pushed the button on the remote, and nothing happens. It's like, oh. Yeah, in the magazine, it's got a troubleshooting thing about, if only one light works, or if this one light doesn't work, or this doesn't happen. And it had a thing about if nothing happens at all, it's like, make sure you put batteries in it, and new batteries, fresh batteries, make sure the remote is working. You've got nothing to test it with apart from, the unit, so it can't exactly test that it's working. But it's an infrared remote, so you can use cameras. Digital cameras show infrared light. So if you point it at a camera and push a button, you can see a flickery thing inside it. So I figured that was probably working, but nothing else was. I checked all the sockets, all the wires, all of everything. I couldn't find anything that was wrong. All of the lights were working independently when you plug them into a power source. And I measured power coming out of the batteries, and that was all okay. So I went to the forums and asked people questions, and they said, oh yeah, you've got to wait a couple more issues. There's another cable that comes that it just doesn't work until you put that cable in it. It's like, well, why did they tell me to test it in this issue if you can't actually test it till 2 issues time? So yeah, that was a bad time, but all sorted now. And I plugged in the cable and it worked, as you'll be able to see tomorrow. I think tomorrow is the video where it all doesn't work. No, and then it does work, but it works a bit. So yeah, the videos are upcoming. I think one went live this morning, another one tomorrow morning. I've just got the third one up to go live on Saturday. I've got 2 more videos to film and build and edit and then put up. So over the next few days, you should be able to see all of this week's issues. That'll be up to issue 75. So we're getting close to the end now. It's getting there. But yeah, George is having trouble with his Razer Synapse software. I'll hopefully be back once I kill it. He said he had some trouble with the sound card did something and that kicked out his camera before we went live. But I don't know. I've actually got the Razer Synapse software running at the moment as well, and it hasn't caused any problems for mine. Not that that helps in any way at all, but I don't know why things are having trouble. Mayhem can fix it with a hammer and a saw. I don't know about the saw. The hammer normally fixes most things electronic, so that's okay. Graham is here saying hi. Hi, Graham. Oh, it's not Wiley Coyote. I'm thinking it's Sam. What's the name of the character in the little thumbnail down there? Yosemite Sam. That's him. Yep. Cool. Everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. Philip's here, Primetime Modelling. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Phil. Talking about sledgehammers now. Yeah, if the little hammer doesn't work, a sledgehammer most likely will. Everyone's saying hello. I don't know who's a nutter, but probably me, but it counts, it's fine. Yeah. George is back. Look, should we push a button and see if he is actually back?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how long this lasts.
I don't know why you're having trouble with it. I don't see how it should interfere with this at all, but apparently.
Yeah, I don't either. But.
Mayhem says, you're glad the T800 is coming to an end and what's your next part work? The Terminator build has been a strange one. It's one that I wasn't going to do because I thought the X-Wing was going to start sooner than it did. So I started it and thought I'll have a look and see. It wasn't my favourite film or genre or anything else, but the build of it has been really good fun. I have enjoyed it, and it has had quite a lot of views. So it's been, it hasn't made a profit. It still cost me more to buy the part work than I've been making on the videos by a long way. But yes, it's been fun building it. So am I glad it's coming to an end? Yes and no. It's always bittersweet when these part works come to an end because it's nice that it's finished and done and there. But it's then just going to go and stand in a corner and probably, never even be turned on or talk or the eyes light up or anything. A couple of times maybe. But it's like the R2 and the Falcon. They're nice pieces, but they're just there. They don't get used and played with or anything. So, yeah, it's nice that it's finished, but I'm not that sad to see the end of it. As to what's my next part work, well, I'm still doing the X-Wing has got another 25 weeks to go. That's another 6 months, isn't it? And the Iron Man has only just started, really. So I've got another couple of years of that to go. I don't know. I've not seen anything else starting that I desperately want. I don't particularly want to run 4 at a time, even if it is only for another couple of months until Terminator's finished. But yeah, people have been asking me about a couple of different part works on YouTube and that. And no, I mean, the X01 looks good, but is just far too big. And people like Dan have done such a good job of it that I know mine wouldn't compare in the slightest. Not that it's a competition. It's not about comparing or anything, but, I'd be sad seeing mine and then seeing his and knowing how much better his was than mine. The only one that I've seen advertised but haven't actually seen in a shop or anywhere yet that has a vague sort of interest to me is the Enterprise D one that's coming out now. It looks lovely. I do like Star Trek. Well, Star Trek shirt at the moment. There you go. So if I saw it in the shop, I'd certainly pick up the first issue and have a look and see what it's like. But not having seen it in the shop, I'm a bit loath to sign up to it online. Although I would sign up to it and subscribe if I was going to start doing it. But I don't know. I want to see the first part in the flesh and play with it, handle it before, committing to anything. But I don't know. Nothing particularly at the moment that's jumping out at me.
So you don't play with them when they're done? You just put them on a shelf?
Yeah, pretty much. It's I mean they're not really designed for playing. They are models rather than toys. they're they. I mean, the Terminator is looking at me from over the top of the monitor over there. Is articulated. You can put him in different poses, as is the Iron Man and things like that. But I don't know. I'd probably repose it, once a year or something, maybe for the sake of variety. But no, I don't generally use them since. The R2 I did turn on a few months back, and the head didn't go around properly. So it's like I can't be bothered to strip it down to find out why it's not working, for it to only be turned on once in another 6 months. So it's a model rather than a functioning anything, which is fine. That's pretty much what I like it. Graham says he's like Yosemite Sam when he rants. Right, yep, okay. That explains the picture then. Have you got the big hair? That's what we really need to know as well. Mayhem is past pitchforks. He's going to use siege crossbows. I don't know what that was about, but that's fine. Mayhem says this is almost like an interview. Almost, yes. I mean, you can come on camera and actually do an interview type thing. I don't do interviews well. I don't find myself interesting enough to be interviewed, if you know what I mean. But I don't mind answering the odd question. Why did you decide on the 144 scale? I know you work with watches, but why the tiny scale? Originally, it was because of size. I haven't got lots of room to put big models of stuff. I'm dealing with smaller areas, so smaller scale seemed to work quite well for me. The first couple of things that I looked at and picked up were 144 scale. Actually, no, the first one was the Viper. But looking into it, I thought it'd be nice to compare things from different universes against each other. So you've got, I've got the Space Shuttle and the Millennium Falcon. And to see them in the same scale, in the same space, looking at each other, it does something to me. It makes me think, it gives me more of a grounding of these things. When you see an X-Wing next to, the Saturn V rocket and see the size difference in things, it impresses me. The difference of scale. The shuttle, I didn't realize was as big as it is. I think because it looks like a plane, you think of it as a plane, but it's huge. It's massive. I mean, they've got like 4 or 6 people sitting across the cockpit, which you know from looking at pictures of launches and stuff. But I didn't take it in as being an actual thing until I built the model and thought, it's actually big. So yeah, pretty much that's why the tiny scale. I haven't done so much of it recently. I've been drifting off to other things, especially with the E-models builds, because there's not so much variety of stuff in 144. There's a lot of planes, but that's about it. And, you can't get a car in 144 scale because it's only going to be that big. So I don't do many kits of normal things. It's all spaceships and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll get there. Fronton says this explains no Sarah Jane tonight Star Trek references. She didn't know that there were going to be Star Trek references until it started, but yeah. Ethel's here, Northeast Scotland calling. Sit and wait for the adverts to end. Thank you for watching the adverts, by the way, but hopefully they've finished by now. Yeah, if you get here on time, then you've got the whole 5-minute countdown thing to watch the adverts through, and then it won't interfere with the actual show. Apparently Sarah Jane might be hunting Malibu. So it's good. I don't think it moves very quick, so you can probably hunt it quite easily. And everyone's saying hello to everyone else. Mayhem says you did a 144 Zaku. Why don't you do another 144 Gundam kit? I've done 3 Gundam kits, actually. I did the Zaku was an E-models build. I've got... Can you see it? No, you can't see it. I've got a bear guy sitting over there, which is technically 144 and a Gundam, but is, about so big. I've also done one of the other smaller ones, but still the same scale. I've got another one sitting in the cupboard over there, the traditional one. Is it the RX something, 71?
78. Where did you put the Sazabi I bought you?
And the Sazabi, I was going to mention that one as well. The Sazabi has been done. That's in the other room. Which is also 144 scale. So yeah, they do quite a lot in 144. But unless there's enough variety and difference between them, I don't like to repeat myself like that. So, after having done Giant Robot, Bear Guy obviously was very, very different. It looks like a bear. And the Sazabi was a George exclusive because George bought me the kit actually. So, but yeah, the others are just giant robots. They're all much the same, so they don't hold that much interest to me because I've already done a couple. So, you know, but I'm always open to more experiences. But at the moment, the Partworks, being that I've got 3 Partworks running, if they come one a week, then that's 3 weeks done out of the month already. And yeah, and if when one of them dies off, then I'll have a bit more time for doing other things, maybe. But then I'll be back at work and it won't work. Mayhem says, my brain fails because I don't remember you building more than the Zaku. Yeah, the Zaku was the E-Models build, which obviously is on my channel as well. The Sazabi was a patron exclusive, so you can't actually watch the build of that unless you're one of my lovely patrons or channel members, in which case it's available and unlocked for you. The others, the bear guy is a video that's up on my channel. It was a little while ago, but that's there. The other one I think I built before I was filming. I think that was one of the very, very early ones that I did, and it isn't a video, but it exists as a thing. It's there it is. Look, is that one? The red ashtray or something. Something like that. But yeah, there he is. So I have done.
Yep. And it's the red ashtray.
There we go. So yeah, other things do exist. Why don't you tackle a Zoid kit, big robo animals? Now, Zoids, I remember Zoids from way back when. They were wind-up toys that I used to have, but now they're bigger, more expensive model kits and things. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to one. I've got a lot of kits sitting over there to build. It's just the regular building model kit thing I'm not feeling at the moment still. I don't know. It's one of those, you know, if you lose your mojo sort of thing. But yeah, at some point I will come back to it. And Zoids, are they 144? I don't know. They're not. Well, they're not scale. They must be a scale, but I don't know if they publish what scale they are. But I might. You never know. I never say never. Colin's around for 67's workshop. Evening all. Evening, Colin. Welcome. Athel's saying that. Is it true that I go back to work soon? You can have a house to yourself and Katie. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, for the daytimes anyway, yeah. The red ashtray, Mike Mountain approved. Yes, it would be approved by him. Mayhem is giving Colin man hugs with an H, obviously. Man hugs. Everyone's saying hello to everybody again. Right, that's that. Shall we have a look and see what's in the gallery, shall we? Oh, Mayhem says he thinks Zoids are 1/72 scale, but more in line with the 1/100 scale. So they're still a bit bigger than the ones that I would have had, but not hugely massive. But yeah, you never know. I might do it at some point. We have a visitor whose devices are not connected, so we'll see if that fixes itself. I won't bother letting them in until things are actually working, because otherwise it'd just be a big black screen that's joining us. But hopefully they'll turn up. And he's gone again, so maybe his devices aren't connected. It might be a thing that's happening at the moment. I connected without any trouble, but then again, I'm here. So let's have a look at the group. That button there we go. So this is the Gross group on Facebook, where you're all more than welcome to put across your pictures and things that you're building, creative stuff. It doesn't have to be model kits, as is evidenced by the first thing there from Eric, which is indeed Lego X-Wing, Luke's X-Wing, 474 pieces, very nicely done as well. I don't know if he's actually built it yet, but yeah, he said he was on a quick grocery run and somehow this lovely item ended up coming home. It's nice when they get adopted, when they find somewhere to live. Philip has been doing more 3D printing of Iron Man. This one's a little bit smaller than the part work that I'm building, but it's still very nice. He did say he had some trouble with the painting of it. I don't know if that's going to come out in the pictures. I think I'm going the wrong way. No, I'm going the right way. There we go. Dennis LD, at last I got the paint right on the airbrush. Too thin, then too thick, then just right. It's always get just right in the end. Maybe the minis I killed practicing rest in a jar or waiting to be stripped. Yes, airbrushing minis is not something that I'm assuming that you're more base coating rather than doing the edges and stuff with an airbrush, because that would be a nightmare. But good luck to you. It looks very good. I like the I don't know the type of Warhammery type thing that is, but some sort of skull army thing.
The Reaper.
Is it
Primaris Reaper? Yeah.
I do like them. They look good. See, Gemma's saying that hopefully I'll be back on the 12th and the house will be quieter, in case you won't be winding each other up. We get on well. It's fine. Right, let's have a look. What else have we got? This was Matthew. Yes, he's doing the 144 Saturn V and had some trouble with the painting. He was only just joined the group and just asked about the masking of it, which I suggested a couple of things which he's going to try and hopefully get right. I think the problem there was that the masking didn't go down as well as it could have. The problem with this kit is it's got lots of ridges and ribs around the edge piece. So when you get the masking on, you really need to make sure it's rubbed in properly, and go over it again. Do the white first, because obviously you can't do white over black. That's really not going to work. Put the white down, put the masking on, covering over all the white bits you want to keep, and then put more white down. Put the white over where the black's going to go, because it creates a little barrier, a little wall. If it's going to seep in, it will seep in, but it'll be white seeping in over white, and then it'll be okay, and that will block up the gap. So then when you put the black down, the black can't seep in under the masking tape because the white already has, and then the black should stay there. Then when you peel the masking off, it should be a neater, sharper line, as we said in the chat when you were talking about that anyway. But good luck with that. Hopefully I'll see some more pictures of that in the coming times when it's looking recovered. Yeah, problems there. But okay. Steve accidentally picked up some more Lego. Standard land speeder. I've got one of those sitting over there looking at me, which I shall be building at some point. I've already built one, but I've got another one. So yeah, it's good fun to build that. And Steve obviously bought it and built it immediately, because that's what he does. He can't leave things sitting in a box. That's that. Mayhem is saying that there's a lot of technical what's his names going on lately, with people trying to join and cameras and stuff. So yeah, hopefully it will get sorted out. Twisted Roll says it's not yet. It's still in the box. He's still working on the Mustang GT4. And he's got the Lego Speed Champions Dodge Challenger Demon to do before that. I don't know. I know the Speed Champions are the ones that are quite good value. You get a lot of kit for the price. All the little cars in there. So that'd be interesting to see that. Be nice. Going on. Oh yeah, different view of that. That's all looking good. And the little jar in a cave, obviously. This is me, right? Yeah, I've got. It is indeed here. Look, I picked up some of this electroluminescent cable, which is for another diorama ongoing. I'm thinking about and working through. I wasn't sure how it would work if you fold it, because I know a lot of these. Like fiber optic cables, you can't fold. You can't put a definite crease in. You can bend them, but you can't fold them. This one you can, as you can see in the picture there. I put a couple of little folds into it, and it all still works. So I'm thinking it's going to work for what I need it to. But that's a project to be ongoing after the ones that I'm doing at the moment. So keep your ear to the ground and see what's what. Spiddy Q8 has posted up a sandwich in the making. Cheese and onion crisps in a sandwich, and it is buttered, because we asked him about that. A few of us said, is it buttered? And he said it was, so we're all good there. Bobbins says, good tip there. I have to remember that on myself with the masking tape. And make sure the masking is rubbed down well as well. Otherwise, it'll all go under it and you won't work. Paul has been doing, is that one of the chibi tank things? It looks it, but it might not be. It might be a real world tank. I don't know. I don't do tanks or armor, so I can't tell. But looking good, whatever it is. Nice. This is Frankie. Another blue brick set. I think this is like the sort of off-brand Lego, but obviously cheaper than actual Lego, but not a fake Lego. It's just a different brand that make things with bricks that are exactly the same. But this is the Locomotive BR103DB Rain Gold. I don't know any of that, but it's a train. So yeah. Lord Barkley says that sandwich needs tomato soup and cheese. Oh, it's got cheese and onion crisps, so it's that sort of cheese, but it's not. But it sort of is. Frankie says it'll be finished tomorrow. Oh, that's obviously almost finished. It hasn't got any wheels on it, but there we go. It looks like we might have another visitor. We have Lewis from Modern Waking Trucker joining us, and it seems like his camera's working now.
Yeah, I had to do a quick restart. Well, press the button and have it shut down and restart.
Well, as long as it works in the end, that's important. We're still just going through the gallery, so I don't know. Is there anything of yours in here to look at when we get there?
I put one in.
Cool. We'll probably find it in a minute then. The BR103 DB Rain Gold is complete, he says. And yeah, it certainly looks like a train. Nice. Paul Lyons with that one again. Taken at 12:58 on Monday. There we go. Close up. Oh, nice. Does the job, yeah. I don't know what flavour of tank it is. It's got nice muddy tracks. That's what we like to see. Hatch, a little bit of weathering on there. Good. Dirtied up the engine. Fine. That works, doesn't it? Yep. I like that. Number plate on it. I don't know what. Is it? It's not an actual number plate. Number plate is it? Must be a military plate identification thing. You've done a couple of tanks, but you're not big on tanks, are you, Lewis?
No, I tried some. I have got some coming though. I bought a couple of tanks to do in truck.
Oh right, yeah.
But no, I'm more of a ship man. Got to say it carefully.
Yes, yeah. Be careful when you're talking to anything like that. Yeah. Looking good, Paul. Phillips Iron Man. Nice. 3D printed. He said he had trouble with the paint and it's made it look weathered. So it looks fine to me. You can see some discolorations around it, but he says it's a happy accident. As long as you're happy with it, that's the important thing. Mine's going to have glowy hands though, so. Phil's now doing the HA1112M1L Bouchon in 1/72nd. An AZ model. I don't know. So yeah, it's a plane. That's as much as I know. And a Spitfire as well, by the looks of it. Decal code letters for all of the letters. You see, you can make your own codes on the sides. That's quite cool. There we go. Lewis is here. He can do some talking. You've been doing some photo etch for the 1350 Tirpitz.
Yeah, so it's just that. It's basically still here. That base bit, the bit you see, not the top bit, but just that base has about 29 pieces of photo etch.
Nice.
All had to be folded and glued. And then there's like bits on the front, there's ladders, there's a grill.
As long as you enjoyed yourself, that's the important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's literally all I've done over the past few days.
That's the last one put up in the group, so I shall remove that from there. I'll stick on here. Phil says it's going to be a Battle of Britain movie build. That would be cool. Nice. Yeah, be interested in seeing that as it comes along. Lord Barkley saying about the cheese. It needs grated cheese so it melts in the soup. I haven't tried that. That's interesting. I haven't got normal cheese. I've got them the American cheese slices in, so I could just chuck one of them on top of a tartar soup. Would that work? Probably wouldn't work because they're not very much, are they?
Yeah.
A bit like pasta.
Yeah. No. Don't know. I mean, George is going to get picked on again now, but I don't think Americans do real cheese, do they?
Yeah, we do. It like Vermont aged cheddar.
Not the stuff that comes out of the aerosol can. That's not cheese.
Yeah, no. I'm talking like real artisan cheese. Like we have Vermont and Wisconsin aged cheddar. Those probably are like our craft cheeses to match American cheese is just, I mean, there was a thing on Reddit. They were talking about how a lot of the times we compare like Americans' cheapest stuff, so like Budweiser to European good stuff, and we discount things like we have a really good craft beer scene here in the U.S., and you have a lot of small batch breweries that can make beers that can compare and maybe even beat some of the European high quality beers. So American cheese is just like cheap $1 cheese. It's not supposed to be good. But we do have really good cheeses that come out of the kind of areas that have a lot of cows, like Wisconsin and Vermont, that are, you know, aged for forever and are super sharp and delicious.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
but they're more sort of smaller places rather than.
Yeah, you have to go to like a
supermarkets and stuff, but
you're not getting it at the supermarket. Yeah,
fair enough. Lord Bartley says he's seen hard cheeses in grocery stores in Florida.
Yeah, they do have them there too. They don't make them there, but they do have them there.
Yeah, that'd be alligator cheese or something, wouldn't it? I don't know. That's probably not a thing.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm just now thinking if you can milk an alligator, but
there
are other animals.
No, you can't.
You milk
only
goats,
mammals.
So.
Yeah, you can milk any mammal, but reptiles do not produce milk.
Because they lay eggs, so it's different. So yeah, because Okay, I won't bother trying this. I was going to go and look for an alligator and have a little milking experiment, but I won't bother now. That's fine. Right, so yes, I shall put the link in chat again if you do want to come along and join in. Otherwise, we'll finish a bit early. I'm not going to hang around for another 3/4 an hour if nobody else comes along and joins in. But Max Models has just come along saying, "Evening, Chris, and all in chat." It's not come along to the chat that I can put up on screen as yet, though, but I will. There it is. Look, it says, "Evening." Good evening, Mac. Welcome. There's the link if you want to type it in, because you can't click on the link when it's on the screen there, but you can. It's in the chat, so you can always just find the chat. If you're not watching and can't find the chat, then you need to actually go to YouTube and click the thing that says live chat, because that's where it is. That's where the people are hanging out. If you don't join the live chat, then you're just sitting here watching. Well, you're not doing anything, and you're watching Lewis do some sanding and George doing some painting, but you can talk to us while you're doing it. It's fine. We're still asking questions. If you've got any questions that you'd like to have answered, then put them in the chat and someone might answer them. It might not be me. It might be someone else. If you've got questions about America, George is here. Any questions you have about America, he'll answer them. Not politics or religion and stuff like that, though. But,
yeah, I'll try. The United States is a very large and expansive place. So I don't know everything about it.
And there's little bits of it.
Yeah, I know enough to be dangerous.
Yes, well, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, as they say. Atho's asking if Mac Models fit like the night. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. Is that a song? I have no idea. Mayhem's saying hello again to Lewis.
Hello again, Andy.
Sarah James turned up and said, Sup.
Sup.
I don't know what that is. Is that just like what's up? Is it really abbreviated? But hello. Everyone's saying hello to Sarah Jane now. Welcome. So that's the chat up to date. We've seen what George has been doing. We can tell what Lewis has been doing because he's got it there. I don't know what it is, though.
What I'm doing?
Yeah.
It's the centre deck to the Tirpitz. So that's where the catapult is. Forward turret will fit in that bit there. That bit goes in there. And the rear turret is just there.
Right. So it's about that length, or is there more?
It's a little bit more. That's the front of it.
Right. Oh, and that's where that bit I see. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the back.
And that's 350. Do you say 1,350?
Yeah, 1,350. So that bit will sit like that somehow.
Nice.
And that bit.
It goes on there and it builds up a bit more in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this bit with the stupid amount of photo etch.
Yeah, don't drop it. Goes with it a bit like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Oh, we've got Underdog Painting has come along saying hello, guys. Good evening, Underdog. Welcome.
Hello, Underdog.
Everyone's saying hello to everybody again. That's what happens when people come in. Everyone says hello. Everyone's always polite and nice to each other. So I say, if you're not in the chat, join in because they'll say hello to you if nothing else. Even if you've got nothing else to say, you can come along and say hello.
Hello.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, you're just saying hello. Okay.
Yeah, just saying hello. You said say hello. So I said hello.
Yeah, well, you're in here. I did see you use some finger words earlier, but I'll let you off because that's okay. But
I didn't like to interrupt you.
You have to interrupt me, otherwise I'll just keep talking. I can't leave the air empty and dead. I don't like it. I don't like the thought that people are watching and not got anything to listen to, even if they're only listening to me waffle on about nothing at all for a little while. I feel happier when there's talking going on. So if you two aren't doing any talking, then I'll just keep talking and not say anything, but just use the words to fill in the gaps in the air so it's not dead air sitting there. I don't know. I think I've got some sort of radio DJ vibe. But anyway, Mayhem has a question for Lewis. He says, what gave you the push to use Photo Etch? And would I play with Photo Etch? So your side first. Why Photo Etch? Is it just because it's in the kit?
No. I've always wanted to add on extra detail and everything. It's like when I first started building ships, I'd just build them straight out the box. And you look at some of the cranes on it, they're just lumps of plastic.
Right.
So I then bought the one model that I've always wanted, which was the USS Enterprise aircraft carrier. And I bought a little bit of Photo Etch with it, only a little bit. And because I enjoy the building side of it rather than the painting, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I come back for more punishment time and time again. So it's weird because my brother come round and he see one of the kits I did without Photo Etch and see one that I did with, and he said, well, from the distance you're looking at them, you can't tell any difference.
That's not what you want to hear.
No. But
it's like, this one's cost me an extra 50 quid and 500 hours of work.
Yeah. But it's the enjoyment of doing it, the enjoyment of taking these little bits, like all of that. Literally, that is all Photo Etch. There is no plastic on that whatsoever. And to get that from them two sheets,
yeah,
it's like you've built it, you've made it. I know you're only following lines and folding on creases and everything, but you've made it, you put it together.
Yeah. So in the normal kit without the Photo Etch, would there be anything for that bit or not?
Good question. I think there would be. Let's have a quick nosy.
But it'd just be a little blob of stuff rather than all the individual bits of it. It's obviously got to be something to make it more worthwhile.
I would have thought so, but I can't even find where the piece is on the kit. We're looking at the rear of the ship, Lewis, getting the right place. Yeah, so it's that bit just there. So if we can find, I'll just knock that Photo Etch over. There we go.
Mayhem says to Tilnat, happy birthday from himself. Is it Nat's birthday today or yesterday?
It is. It's today. She's
happy birthday to Nat if she's sitting in the background somewhere. But
thank you.
She's getting old.
Somewhere. I'm not saying anything like that. No.
I have to be on best behaviour.
You should be always, but even more on the birthdays. Yeah. Max says, I have to say my new headphones are making everything so clear. No names, but boy, are they good. Hopefully, the microphone's picking up and making everything sound good to everybody, but headphones are lovely. Athel's only watching half of us. I'm on the left and the Switch game's on the right. So as long as you're still playing, is it not Dark Souls or something, was it? I don't remember what you're playing. But hopefully you're still enjoying that. Sarah Jane saying happy birthday to Nat as well.
Happy
Thank you, Sarah Jane.
And Eric.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
And Underdog. And
Underdog.
Oh, I'm feeling the love tonight. Thank you, guys.
Mayhem says he got a sort of set of JLab wireless buds. They're like £30 and the audio is amazing on them. Just annoyed I couldn't get red ones. Well, you can't see them if you're in your ears anyway, so it doesn't really matter what colour they are. Right, these are the differences. This is photo versus plastic.
So that's the plastic one, which is very chunky. It's got all the little compartments in it.
Right.
And then I think it's got railings for bits that you'll just put around there, but it's again plastic railings.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is the photo etch bit.
It's nicer, but it's not as nice as I was going to expect it to be. I thought the plastic one would be worse.
The amount of flash that's on it is worse.
Is it? It's a bit blurry. I can't quite make it out, but
yeah, there's a lot of flash on it. I mean, ladders and whatnot. I like the fact, even just on the ladders, the fact that you can turn.
You got steps.
Yeah, so the steps you can turn, so you can actually walk up them. But it's also, when I build these, it's not just a case of sticking it together. I do all the research and everything into it and look bits up. And
yeah, I really don't. I just follow the instructions and paint it however I feel like it and get on with it. Yeah. Everyone. Edward says happy birthday, Nat.
Thank you.
Max says happy birthday, Nat. Gemma says I hope you've been spoiled today, Nat.
Oh yes.
She knows I did the washing up for her.
You put it in the dishwasher.
Close enough.
It's sort of doing the washing up, but we won't ask about that really yet.
In all fairness, you did me steak for tea, so you're in the good books.
That's all right then. Athel's just finished eating his second double cheeseburger, as first went down well, but he was full now and feel hunger filled, and run out of chili sauce on the first one. Yeah, there's that fine line between just enough to be sated and happy, and then pushing it a little bit too far and being bloated and fat. It's always difficult. Everyone's still saying happy birthday, but we won't keep going on about that. Sarah Jane is hungry now after reading that. Very nice. Yes, yeah. A nice burger is good. That's the question. There we go. Burger or sausage?
Burger.
Not in a bun, just as is, just a burger patty or a sausage.
Sausage.
That makes it a harder question, doesn't it? If you're talking about like a hot dog bun or a burger, then it's definitely burger all the way.
Yeah.
But just a beef patty or a sausage,
it's got to be sausage.
Probably. I think it might be. I don't know. The thing, I was talking to Paul about it a little while ago, and the thing about sausages is there's a lot more variety.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas burger is just burger or maybe quarter pounder. That's your choice.
Wrong.
They don't do, I mean, beef burger, but you don't get pork burger or beef burger and you get lamb burger, but it's not really a burger.
So you can one of my friends, actually no, it's my father-in-law who does it. So he takes 40% ground up bacon, and then 60% ground up filet, and then makes burgers out of that. So it's like part pork. It is amazingly delicious. Probably the best burger I've ever
Yeah,
eaten.
burgers generally seem to be more about what you add to them, isn't it?
In
I
the
think
meat or on the outside.
If you're making your own burgers, then obviously you can put whatever you like in it. But if you're just having a burger, then it's generally about what you add to it. You add, cheese and bacon and pickles and things like that. Whereas a hot dog is just generally like the hot dog with some sauce, maybe some onions. I don't know, but yeah. Let's see. Candygram's here saying happy birthday, Nat.
She says happy birthday. She's just gone on the phone.
Edward says steak. It's not quite the same, is it? Why am I a rotter? What did I do? What? I don't know. Did I say burgers or something? Is that the problem? I don't know. Bobbin says sausage. Athol says boar burgers with onions and French fries in a big bap.
So we
Again,
have
back though, isn't it?
one of the main kind of Hawaiian comfort foods is called Loco Moco. And
It
it's
sounds good already.
rice, burger, I think it's a fried egg, and then or maybe sunny side up egg, and then no, over easy egg. Man, there's too many ways to make eggs, but it's over easy egg, and then
When you say fried egg to me, I consider what you consider to be sunny side up. It's just you put an egg in a pan, you fry it, you're done. But I think in America you tend to turn them over halfway through or whatever, don't you? That's
so,
over easy, is it?
No, so that's fried where it's both sides.
That's
Over
just fried,
easy is when you just kiss the other side. So you flip it over
Okay.
for about half a second and then take it off. And then sunny side up is you don't flip it at all. So this would be over easy on the burger, and then you put gravy over the top of all of it.
When you say gravy,
I mean the dark brown beef gravy.
what we call gravy as well, not.
Yeah, not sausage gravy, white gravy. Yeah.
See, I don't know. I don't like my burgers to try and escape the bun. When I put something in a bun, I expect it to stay put. So as soon as you start adding egg and gravy and stuff to it, it just starts to. As soon as you pick it up,
There's no
half
bun.
of it falls out. Oh, no bun. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It just sits on rice. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that then. Yeah. If it's knife and fork sort of food, then that's all right. Yeah.
The yolk of the egg will mix with the gravy.
Well, only after you eat through it.
Yeah.
It's still mixing there in front of you. No.
Well, not until you cut it. If it's when it's there, it won't be because it's still sealed. But after the first cut, then it will start to mix.
After the first cut, it's all mixes, isn't it? No.
No. Have you got to eat all your food separate?
Well, I have to have my eggs well done anyway, but it's like I can't have if I have a fried breakfast, I can't have the tomatoes and the baked beans touching.
Oh no, that'd be horrible. No, of course you can. You got to eat it on your same stomach. What are you worried about?
No, but no, I can't. If it's two sauces, I can't have them mixed.
Oh, no, the taste sensation of mixing certain things works very, very well.
Do you guys not have casseroles over there? Is that not a thing?
Is what? Sorry.
A casserole where you just like throw a whole bunch of different things into.
Casseroles are a thing. We probably invented the casserole. It's just I'm
a big casserole fan, so I like all my food mixed up. I
don't mind it if it's like carrots and peas and things like that when it's dry, and then you put gravy over the top of it all. But if you've got an egg and gravy, no, it doesn't work.
What about egg and beans?
No.
No? Okay.
No, the egg's got to be well done. So when you cut through the yolk, it's solid.
So a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah.
Well,
I always like all my eggs are always well done, but now due to medication I'm on, I have to have them well done anyway. So it suits me.
That's all right. As long as it's
As for casseroles, don't like them.
No, because they're too soupy.
No, I just don't like them. They're horrible.
Mayhem says standalone it'd have to be a sausage, but in a roll or whatever, both. Yeah, I'll go with both as well. Yeah. Gemma says sausage. Bobbin says happy birthday, Nat. Barkley says sausage, but do like garlic burgers they do in Spain. Yeah, we don't seem to get varieties of barbecue season. There's occasionally different varieties of burgers, but not very often. Sarah Jones says, has to be sausage if you want a burger. Flatten it with a rolling pin. Simple. So it's basically both a win. Yeah, I don't know. You can't. If I'm doing sausages in a sandwich, you have to cut them in half and then put them in the sandwich properly. Like you can't have a whole sausage in a sandwich because no, that's too thick. But yeah, I go with that. Sausage sandwich, burger sandwich, no. Yeah, but you can't. You put burgers in a roll. You can't put burgers in a sandwich, but well, you can, but no. No. Bobbin says that, but I'm not going to read it out because otherwise things will start to happen. Sarah Jane says, "Look at that. Some people are frigging picky with their food. Just eat it or starve." Yeah. There's some foods that I don't like. Which is fair. I mean, people have got different tastes and they like different things. It's not a problem. But when it comes to two different foods you like and them touching each other on the plate or whatever, I just think that's weird, Lewis.
I don't mind if like you've got hash brown. I don't mind that touching the beans or tomatoes. It's just when the two sauces mix, especially when you've got an egg there and it's not well done.
Yeah, but you don't like the egg when it's not well done already, so you're already in your uncomfort zone. So yeah. Do you have to have a plate with them little dividers on it?
Oh no, I'm not that bad. I just get Matt to put the beans at one end and the tomatoes at the other, and then the meat in the middle after I've eaten it.
That sounds about right. Yeah. John's coming along. Saying hi all. Evening, John. Welcome. Talking about headphones again, I think because it's expensive don't mean it's great. This is true. I mean, you don't always get what you pay for, but it's often a good indication of quality. But then again, it might be an indication of brand, so it's always tricky. I've got tinnitus, so I hear a high-pitched whining wherever I go. So headphones and sounds to me are a bit different to most people anyway. So I don't. There's some tones that I just can't hear because I think I'm already hearing them, if you know what I mean. But when I put on a decent pair of headphones, it makes a difference. Although I do tend to have them louder than I probably should.
You know what's weird about that? So I had the same problem, and that when it's silent, like if I'm in the room without a humidifier or heater on or anything like that, it is so deafeningly loud. That ringing noise.
Yep.
But you can still hear things through it, and I don't understand. Like it's louder than anything I hear, but I can still hear those things through it. And
the trouble is now we've been talking about it, I can hear it, and I'm annoyed by it now. But it was still there 10 minutes ago, but I wasn't thinking about it, so I wasn't hearing it. But you get used to it, and it goes away. But yeah, now I'm going to be annoyed for a little while because I'm going to be hearing it. So we'll stop talking about it because then I'll forget about it. Athel tells Lewis, what difference does it make when it's in your tummy? It's all mixed together.
Because you don't taste it when it's in your tummy.
You do when you burp.
No taste buds in your tummy.
Yeah, but some things taste good when they're. I mean, like burger sauce. I like burger sauce. That's basically sort of salad cream and tomato sauce, isn't it? Sort of.
Oh, don't tell me that. Tomato.
That's what it is. It's a mixture of two sauces. So you shouldn't be eating that.
Yeah, but it works.
No, it's nothing like it.
Maryland sauce.
Beans and tomato might really work, but you won't try it, so you don't know.
Maryland sauce, seafood sauce, is made by mayonnaise and ketchup.
Yep.
You can make it at home. Ketchup is vile stuff anyway. I will not make it at home. But yeah, I'll go to a store and buy it in the jar, and it's lovely.
It just goes to show that you're weird.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's right. Atho is asking George, are you and Eric from Twisted Rail Hobbies from the same state as you talk the same?
Maybe. Where Eric
don't
from?
think so. They're both from America land, but I don't know any more than that really. I know where they're from, but I can't remember. I'm terrible at things. But I don't know. Is Eric still about? Is he where is Eric from? Yeah. I don't remember.
I just have the standard what they call the standard American accent. Unless
Standard American. I don't think there's any
unless
such thing
it's
as
the
standard
accent.
American.
Eric
Yeah,
from
so
Indiana.
it's the newscaster and the only word that my actual accent comes out is accent. I originally had a southern accent, so I talk like this, and then I got rid of it. And it's funny because when I go back to the South, everyone goes, "You got an accent now," and I say, "I don't have an accent. You got an accent. I talk normal." But yeah, so anywhere in the Midwest has something very similar to mine.
Twisted Rat Hobby says he's from Indiana. I don't know where that is. Is that the same?
No. He's about 18-hour drive.
Yeah, but that's quite local, isn't it? Or was that? I don't know. American distances through me.
No, local is like 2 hours. So okay. He's probably like 1,500 miles away, something like that.
Not local then, so different.
Yeah, he's in a whole different state. But
then again, American accents don't change as quickly as British accents do because you're more spread out. So you can go for a drive for an hour and go through like 5 different accents in the UK.
Yeah. That's because you guys don't move around a lot. We have a lot of space. So, and especially, I grew up in a really rural area on the Gulf Coast. And now we live in a large major city in Denver. So we all tend to kind of move together. The people who live, so if you go to some of the older states, I can tell the difference between someone who comes from North Carolina and South Carolina based on their accent. Same with Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. So the southern states all have different twists on the southern accent. And then same thing, if you go up to New York, they have a very distinct accent, which is different from the Boston accent, but both come from really old English accents. But the entire middle section of the country, because it's where a lot of farmland is, so we call it the Midwest, even though it's like half of it is on the eastern half of the United States. We all have adapted what's the newscaster accent. So it's the standard American accent is officially what it's called.
All right.
So even in places like Alabama, Texas, where you would have a strong accent, the newscasters still have. I mean, I'm sure like all the BBC news people.
Yeah, I mean the traditional BBC English is the almost like sort of semi-posh, sort of well-to-do, but not quite as bad as it was 50 years ago. But
it's a bit like your accent, isn't it, Chris?
My accent is proper posh accent like what I've got. Yeah. No, it's not like that. I don't know. It's different. I assume I can hear differences in accents from America, obviously. But if you were to do an accent, I wouldn't be able to tell you where it's from because my brain doesn't work that way in that, oh, yeah, that's from New York. But I'll hear a New York accent on TV shows and things, and it will sound different, but it will be all right. And I'm not good at saying, oh, yeah, that's, Tennessee or upstate New York or anything like that. I can barely do Yorkshire and Scotland. I can tell the difference between them, but yeah. So American is just in my brain, just tunneled over. So that's an American accent. Although I know that there are subdivisions and everything's very different in different places. I couldn't tell you which one was which.
Yeah, and it's the same for people from here too. They can't tell unless you're from the South. You can't tell the difference between Southern accents. You can tell Texas because it has the twang in it, but everywhere else, you can't really tell the difference if you're not from the South. But so we have the same problem. I know that there are differences in, especially, for instance, the way that you and Fox talk, or especially Ted. Ted is a very different accent than both of you, but I can tell you what makes them different. I just know they sound different, and they're definitely English. So
yes,
it's just if you happen to be around an area, then and if you're not from an area, and you won't know.
Yeah, I think that's the same with everything. Technology and TV has made it much more noticeable, and I think accents. I don't think they'll ever go away, but they do seem to be softening somewhat because of TV and everything else. I mean, we get a lot of American TV, obviously, because America makes a lot of TV. So
Right.
we see a lot of American TV as kids growing up, and I'm sure that some of it edges across. It must depend on how much you watch and how much you talk to other people outside of watching TV. But there must be a point where it's going to become a bit, the peaks are going to soften down and everyone's going to get a bit closer to being the same across the world, really. But across the English-speaking world, obviously, different languages will be different. But yeah.
There was actually a really interesting case where there were a lot of children who had British accents. In the U.S., their parents weren't British, and it was because of Peppa Pig.
All right.
Because they watched so much Peppa Pig all the time, they adjusted their speech pattern to match hers. And she has some sort of British accent. Maybe you could.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I couldn't tell you where it was from or anything else.
I'll agree with you there, because Connor, he watches a lot of a bloke called Blippi. He's an American. I think he's an American teacher, and he does things like these flashcards, and he says garbage truck and things like that. So Connor will turn around and say, "Oh, the garbage truck is here." It's like, no, it's a bin lorry. No, it's a garbage truck. No, it's a bin lorry.
A bin lorry? Is that what?
Yeah, that's it's the bin men come around. It's not the refuse collection or anything like that.
The garbage truck, yeah.
So he picks up
John Paul says in Holland is different accents also. Yeah, again, we don't think of different languages as having accents for different areas, but obviously they do. I'm sure someone will speak French in Paris different to anywhere else. But
Parisian French versus especially like Canadian French.
Canadian French I would expect to be different because it's miles away sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Athol says we Scots have different dialects depending on where you live. In Aberdeen, we're multicultural due to the student populations. Yeah, I mean, if populations are more fluid and people coming in and out, then the accent will dilute, won't it? So, yeah. Sarah Jane says, I have my own accent. No one speaks like what I does. Yeah, sounds about right. Different accents for different locales, says Mayhem. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think if everybody spoke the same language, it would be easier, but it would be less interesting by a long way. So,
plus you can't have the world's sexiest accent contest if everybody spoke the same.
Yeah, there's definitely. It's always taken that the French accent is, the language of love and everything else, and German just sounds like you're cross all the time. But I'm sure it doesn't from different places. But yeah, Mayhem does say to you, George. He says, "Bin lorry, scaffy truck, refuse wagon." I've never heard scaffy truck. Is that?
Huh.
Where's that from? Because that's not one I've heard. Bin lorry is
Is lorry just mean like a big ass or big truck? Sorry.
Yeah, lorry and truck are basically interchangeable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't tend to use bin lorry around here. I'd just say it was the bin men, and it'd just be taken as read that they've got a lorry with them. They're not just going around picking it up by hand. But
picking it up the landfill.
Max says, just something I find here in France. Nearly all English speakers here have a slight American accent, TV influence for sure. Yeah, I mean, people learn languages through, now YouTube or TV and everything else. So if you're learning from one source, you're going to be influenced by that source. So, yeah, if I was going to learn a different language, then I'd be watching TV from that area. And I'm sure I'd be influenced by whatever shows I was watching. So, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Bin wagon, says Bobbins. Not so much, but yeah, it would be recognisable. So
It's interesting
yeah,
that how different we call things, even though we speak the same language, ish.
yeah. Well, I mean, you've got parts of cars are completely different, aren't they? You've got your trunk and your hood,
Hood.
and
On it.
yeah.
Well,
So
we had the sidewalk, right, and you guys call it the pavement or something.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I guess it does make sense for things that didn't exist in the colonizer times, because yeah, how would we know what words you decided to use prior to the internet?
Yeah, I always find it interesting when something has been invented and then that word pops up in a completely different foreign language, like, you know, in Japanese or something. They'll say something,
Well, yeah,
you know, like tape recorder is tape
Yeah.
recorder in Japanese, but
hmm
it's just, it blows my mind to think that how can they can just switch to that, but obviously they don't consider that to be a foreign word. It's just the word. But yeah, very strange. Sarah Jane says people think I have a London accent like Fester's, so they get a slap. But I think going around giving people a slap is probably more likely to make them think that you're from London as well. So it's probably not doing your cause any favours. Athol says Scaffy trucks are what wakens me up on a Tuesday at 7:20. Your bin day's Tuesday, is it? Our bin day's Wednesday.
Mine's Tuesday too, same time.
Same
Mine's
time.
Monday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
How do they get all the way from Scotland to you at the same time? That's
Right,
scary.
that's weird. It's like they have more than one truck.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, that might well be it. Because I think our bins get picked up on Wednesday. I think Fox, a bit further up north, gets picked up on Thursday, and I think Ted said it was Friday. So I think it's the same truck, just goes up the country each week.
Do you is your garbage picked up by, I don't know, municipality? Or is it all done by the all of England?
It's a local borough council sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have different things throughout different boroughs and stuff. We've got, technically there's 4, I think, different sort of refuse collections. We've got the recycling, which is just one thing. You put all your stuff in a recycling bag and they take that away. You've got your normal everyday household waste. You've got your food waste, which is a different thing that they take for a different thing. And there is a textiles recycling type bag that occasionally you see, but don't really use very much. But I know a lot of different places have got, some places have like cardboard recycling and glass recycling and paper recycling, and then household waste and other things.
So
But
you
yeah,
split
we're lucky enough here that they all do the same thing every week. Oh, and there's garden waste as well. They take that as well.
Yeah. So your food is separate from your normal garbage,
Yeah,
like a compost.
it's I've been doing it for several years now, but it's still an optional sort of thing. You can sort of sign into it. They give you a couple of different plastic bins that you're meant to put like composty food in, like bones and eggshells and actual food waste, and they take that separately and do whatever they do with it. And again, the recycling stuff, plastics and cardboards and glass and stuff like that, they take and do whatever they do with that. And normal household waste, they do what they do with, and gun waste, they do what they do with. So yeah, it works well for us. But I know a lot of different areas have got different things that they do and don't do, and some of them you can have like 7 different bins out to them take, and some of them they only take every other week or once a month, or this one they take on a different day. So we're quite lucky around here in that we just put everything out one day and get out.
Everything. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
We don't have. I want to build a compost bin in my backyard because we have a garden, which I don't know what's your word for like an actual food garden?
Be a
Vegetable patch.
garden, yeah, vegetable garden.
Yes. So we have a big vegetable garden that we grow in the spring and summer. So I want to start composting, but we don't have the all of our trash goes into the same thing, and we have a recycling. We have 2 recyclings and 1 garbage. The garbage gets picked up every week, and then the recycling only gets picked up every other week. But that's all we get here.
And you say there's 2 of that, so is that like different things or?
No. We just have two giant bins
Oh, right.
because we have so much.
But it's all the same
recycling.
stuff. It's just
Yeah.
double the
But
quantity.
it's
Yeah, that's fair enough.
it's all one company for the whole state. All of our garbage for the whole state goes all to the same massive landfill. So
Oh,
that's
right,
why I
yeah.
was asking if you guys did it all as a country, because pretty sure you're
No,
smaller.
they're sort of done by the individual governments, but they might have an outside company contracted by the government to do it. But as far as we're concerned, it's just the government pick it up and do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ethel says, it says nothing at all because I managed to mute it before I sneezed all over you. But before coming down your way, I best modify my language so folk know what I mean when I say walk to a chippy and ask for a cod supper. You probably get away with that. There's definitely things that Scottish people would say differently to us down south, but you probably get away with that. Max says, I've never understood why aluminium is aluminum in the US. I always thought that it should be aluminium and Americans have just butchered it. But apparently, when it was discovered, or I'd say created, but when it was discovered, it was actually aluminum. And we changed it to aluminium to fit in better with the other periodic table iniums.
Nice.
I was told. So,
How very posh of you.
well, it makes more sense, doesn't it? It's part of the same family. It should have the same sort of name. But, you know.
That's interesting.
Sarah Jane says, I think aluminium is the first version, not aluminum.
Aluminum.
Yeah. So if I just see either of those two words there, I just see aluminium. Either way, I think my brain doesn't bother reading the individual bits. It sees the whole word and just guesses at what it is. But yeah, I think that is what I was told a while back, and it does sound right.
So many syllables. You guys just like adding extra letters to things.
Well, no, you do take letters out of things like colour. That was originally colour, and then you made it column.
Well, so that was because what are the telegrams used to cost per letter? So we got rid of all the nonsense letters. So favorite and color, all the OU stuff. It's not pronounced that way, so we just got rid of it.
It's a bit like what we do.
To some degree, I quite like it, but yeah.
The one that I still don't know is why we swapped like theater instead of theatre. Our other words that you use are the RE and we use ER.
Yeah, censor and yeah. Confuses me. The one that confuses me most is the thousands and million and trillion and stuff, because you've got different numbers of zeros in it to where, but we've sort of drifted over to the American way of doing it now.
I did not know that.
A billion in the UK, a billion was a million, not 1,000 million.
Okay.
But I think it just got too confusing, so we just gave up on ours, and there's more of you guys, so we sort of followed along. But yeah. But language is great. I enjoy how languages evolved and devolved and changed between places, and when two different separate cultures come up with similar sounding names for the same thing without any interaction between the two of them, that astounds me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Athol says, so your chippies sell a mealy pudding and chips. No, I don't know what a mealy pudding would be. That would confuse our chippies, I assume. I don't know. I don't work in a chip shop, so it might be a thing that they'd say, oh yeah, that's one of them. But I wouldn't know what you would be after if you asked for a mealy pudding. No idea. Max says that explains why tyres are tyres. No, he says explain why tyres are tyres with an I and a Y. I don't know. How do you spell it with an I?
I do. Yeah, in the US. Do you guys spell it with a Y?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Because it's right.
You know what? You know what I think it is don't the French use a lot of the RE, in their language?
Yeah.
We just want to to distance ourselves from the French language and started swapping things about to make it more.
It's entirely possible. Timber's here. He says mirror and soldering always sound so different in the US. I don't know about mirror. Mirror is the same, but I know soldering you don't bother pronouncing the L.
Yeah, we say soldering. Mirror.
I don't know how you get away with that because you don't take the L out though, do you?
Nope.
When you're writing it down, you still use it.
Soldering.
But, yeah, but what about mirror is still mirror, isn't it?
Yeah, mirror. I guess you said mirror and
mirror, not mirror.
Mirror.
You sort of.
We just go mirror.
Yeah.
Mirror.
Yeah, but things are different. It's what makes life interesting. Mealie pudding is a white pudding, says Athel. That doesn't tell me anything else about it other than the colour.
Is it made out of tapioca?
It's not made out of white. Is it? What? I don't know. The only white pudding I can think of would be some sort of cake, but you're probably not talking about that. I don't know.
So what is a chip shop? Can you tell me that one?
What's a chip shop?
Yeah. Any place that sells fries? Like a McDonald's?
No.
Fries, it's proper chips made out of
Normally a chip shop would be a fish and chip
sorry.
shop. It would sell sort of cooked and battered fish.
What's the difference between a chip shop and a restaurant?
Chip shop would traditionally be takeaway.
Okay. So it's like fast
and a restaurant
food.
would traditionally be a sit-in deal.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Like
and you can also call it a chippy. You can call it a chippy as well. You could just go down to the chippy. Although technically a chippy is also someone who deals with woodwork like a carpenter. So it could be confusing.
My favorite thing that I ate when I was over there, well, my second favorite thing, because the favorite thing I ate was at that really loud place that we all went to.
Yeah, that was a strange place, but that's not a normal eating experience. But,
I got a couple meat pies for like a few quid at one of the train stations. I was just walking through and I was hungry and I was like, give me like 3 of those, and it was super cheap and they were super delicious. And I wish we had stuff like that here at like our bus depots. We don't really. We have trains, but they're not the same. And not where I live. We definitely don't have subways. In like New York and stuff, they have them, but not here.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, the subways are a new thing to us. Really, they've only been around 10 years or something. But yeah. Timber says mirror sounds like mirror. Yeah,
Mirror.
It's just laziness. I think they're just not bothering pronouncing words properly.
It's efficiency is what it is.
Ethel says white pudding is oatmeal and onions and fat.
I don't like the sound
It
of
doesn't
that
sound
at
pleasant.
all.
That doesn't sound pleasant at all. I don't need that. No, that's fine. You can keep that. That's fine. Right, it's time. It's kicking out time. So I'm going to remove you one at a time from the stream. After thanking you very much for coming along and joining in. Shame none of the general public have been to come along and join us this week. But if you do want to join in, there's always next month. So come along then. I shall remove you one at a time. Lewis, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. See you later.
See you again another time. And George, thank you for making it back eventually, and then back again, and going and coming back, and hopefully you got it sorted, and it'll be easy for next time.
It will, for sure. Thanks, Chris.
But thanks. And then there was me, and I'm here now. It's Thursday, isn't it? Yes. So I have no streams planned for tomorrow. Saturday, I do have a stream planned of the night time. Midnight Murders happens Saturday night at midnight. Technically, Saturday midnight is Friday night. But it's Saturday night. It's 11:55 p.m. Saturday. Now, this week is a little bit different to normal. The stream's going to be the same as normal, but the times are going to be different because our clocks go forward. Technically, at 1 p.m. on Sunday morning, 1 a.m., Sunday morning, it becomes 2 a.m. Sunday morning. So I'm going to be streaming at that time. So I don't know if my computer might blow up or things, but I'm intending to start streaming at midnight, Saturday night. And I normally go for an hour or two. hour and a half, couple of hours, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how the level goes. I'm playing some Hitman 3. I'm actually playing Hitman 2 in Hitman 3. But by all means, come along, join in the chat. I might need some help. The level that I'm doing is the Isle of Segal, or Skull, or I don't know how to say it because I've not heard them say it yet. But it looks like a very dark, forbidding sort of island and castle sort of environment. So it could be interesting. Before then, I intend to get back and play a little bit more of the Whittleton Creek that I did last week and unlock some more things and just play that for a bit of fun, get back into it again. I normally do that during the day on the Saturday so I can get the feel for the controls in the game again. But that's the intention. There is then Sunday night is the team up time for me and Ted at 8:30 of the evening time. Me and Ted join up and we'll both be doing some Warhammers together. This time is over on my channel, so keep an eye on your subscriptions, click the notification bell, like and subscribe and all that. And I shall see you for that then. Other than that, that's it for the day. Thank you all for coming and joining and watching. Max saying it's like a takeaway place, like a Chinese takeaway, but they sell fries instead of rice. Yeah, like Chinese takeaway. Yeah, chip shop. Yeah. Kicking out time. What's that in English? That's what it is in English. It's kicking out time. It's the end. It's last orders and stuff. So yeah, that's it. Pub shut. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's saying no. John says our clocks have already changed. Yeah, I don't know why you did it like a couple of weeks ago because people are already getting confused as to what time things start. But yeah, we'll be back in sync next week. So yes, everyone's saying goodbye. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Athel's just died for the 13th time on Diablo 3, but yeah, there's always time for more. So thank you all for joining. I shall find the thing to press the button to finish off, and I shall see you soon for other things. So the next one is Midnight Murders. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Good night and stay safe. See you soon. Bye bye for now.